Hello nerds! You are about to see the most recent gaming and tech nerd news. For the full news show, then you can follow the top link there in the description, or, you know, if you're not on YouTube, youtube.com/generallynerdy, generallynerdy.net, so on and so forth. But let's jump into the nerdy news before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Gaming and tech, we have a couple of follow-ups. First up is Elden Ring, so kinda sorta happy late Elden Ring day. Oh boy. We have some really interesting stuff. So the Metacritic review from users of Elden Ring, depending on the platform, are pretty mixed, and that's being generous. There are some 0 stars on Metacritic and this comes from fans. This comes from people who love FromSoft, and largely this is something that FromSoft is looking into, and they are very vocal about trying to fix these issues. But there are a lot of technical issues with Elden Ring, and that is highly unfortunate. It seems to be mostly PC-based issues. A lot of them have to do with wider than wide ratio when it comes to your gameplay and trying to do on an extra wide monitor. But there are still some other valid complaints. You know, you have some examples of stuttering and slowdown and dropped frames and so on and so forth. So it seems that the actual gameplay, by and large, again, there are some people who do not agree with this statement, but by and large, it seems that the gameplay is still what you would expect from a FromSoft game, but it's just the technical pieces around that are affecting a lot of people's ability to play. Now, it is presumed that once these issues are addressed, that their Metacritic reviews will go up very, very fast, because it's a FromSoft, and they're kind of, they made their name on being super high quality. So, it does seem that some of the console stuff is being affected by it, so hopefully they can get all of this together in a much quicker fashion than Cyberpunk 2077 did from Project Red, CD Projekt Red, sorry. And we will be keeping tabs on this until it's figured out. So moving right along, we have one more follow-up, and that comes from TikTok. So TikTok is now allowing people to post videos up to 10 minutes long. Very interesting. This has been in the beta testing form for a number of weeks at this point. I actually believe the source said number of months at this point. So they have been testing this for some time now, and maybe the algorithm's going to update. I'm going to toss this one over to you nerds. Is this TikTok really finally moving in for the killing blow on YouTube? And is that a good thing? I think there's two different arguments to be made there, because we'll talk about that in the comment section or on the socials, whichever one you prefer, because there's a lot of nuance here that I feel like needs to be explored. So that is what we have for follow-ups. We have no trailers for gaming and tech this week. We do have one piece of news here in gaming and tech, and that is Google. So Google is creating new technologies. They have a very specialized crew that is creating new technologies that know when you are paying attention. So there is a whole lot of creepy implications there. We're just gonna scoot those aside and let somebody who's slightly more eloquent in such matters deal with that, because my one concern is, what about ADHD? If Google is creating a computer monitor that turns off when it thinks I'm not paying attention, and I have ADHD, which I do, and I'm paying attention to 3 or 4 things at once, what's the monitor going to do? I don't think they've really thought this through yet. I don't know that we are to the point. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know that we're to the point, though, where we can easily do such things with technology. But again, that's why they have this highly specialized team. So I guess it is what it is. Just a little weird. We're moving right along, though. We have no more news. So let's get into the suggestions for the gaming and tech side. Gaming suggestion, another retro suggestion. This time we are in the 30th anniversary for Mortal Kombat. So Mortal Kombat Trilogy is going to be the suggestion, and there's a number of reasons. Not only is it my second favorite of the Mortal Kombat games, but it is presumably going to be the game that is being remastered. We have seen some screenshots surface throughout the last year, roughly, but a lot more very recently, of a 3D remaster of something in the 2D era, being those first 4 games. 4 games being Mortal Kombat 2, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, because it erased Mortal Kombat 3, and then Mortal Kombat Trilogy, which technically erased Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, but that's only mythologically speaking, not gameplay-wise. That's a whole other ball of wax. Anyway, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, this is the Mortal Kombat Armageddon of the 2D era. It has every potential character up to that point. It's a lot of fun. It is highly, highly broken if you are a competitive player, so that's a lot of fun to exploit, and also the reason why you don't see tournaments for this game. But yeah, just crazy good. This, the mythology in this one is a lot of fun to read, so definitely worth a revisit. That is our gaming and tech suggestion. We do have one more aside to get out of the way, just as a means of shameless self-promotion, and that is the live stream. Friday nights are the night that we live stream here on Generally Nerdy. The first half of every live stream is a live news show, so you can contribute live and in person. Well, kind of in person. If you wish, you just join over on the YouTube channel, Generally Nerdy, and you can see me there and do the stuff and contribute to the conversation all you want. And then the second half of every live stream episode is game time. Right now, I do have the Halo itch, so that is very likely what we're going to be playing. Also, Splitgate has been scratching that itch pretty well recently as well. So somewhere in that neighborhood, FPS at the moment, not necessarily always, but that being said, join me on Friday and let's get back to the episode. Once again, that was the gaming and tech. I know, my shirt keeps changing. It's so weird. Pre-recorded is a wonderful thing. Anyway, if you want to see the full episode, top link down in the description if you're watching on YouTube, or you can just check out youtube.com/generallynerdy. There is a bunch of other places you can find me, all of the social medias. Just look for The Nerdy Ninja. He is the logo, and that is the place to go find me, is wherever his face is. My face will be shortly behind. GenerallyNerdy.net is the website. Patreon.com/GenerallyNerdy to get behind the paywall and see all of the things. Thank you very much for joining me, nerds. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.